Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda. All right, good evening, guys. How are we, guys and girls? I take it. Plenty of them. There's only many women. Shut me down if you want, guys. But oh, look, we just got the Facebook up, and I'm talking like that. Pretty silly, eh? It will probably go down again. Okay, still on Facebook. Okay, yeah, get to me. Yeah, get on Matilda TV. Good call. Very good, Darren. Okay, let's see what's going on around the traps, guys. And it's more what's a new word? Hideousy. There you go. Absolutely hideous. This is. It's unbelievable. We got a protester, environmentalist is what they're going to try and do, guys. Mark Graham barred from the Forestry Corp offices after protesting. And, that only come out an hour ago, so that sort of just happened. But we know what they're up to. They don't want the pushback because the pushback is correct. And, yeah. Now, here's Sky News, and this is what we're seeing a lot of, guys. This gives me a little bit of hope because, Jesus, has been a long war. But, brainwashing them. A documentary pushes climate propaganda in schools. So Sky News is actually, out there letting people know, you know what I mean, that this sort of stuff. It's Andrew Bolt, but, again, guys, got to use them for what we can get out of them, and they are dropping stories out that the mainstream people normal people are seeing. So the ACTU, right, suggested a new tax to pay their staff, but this is Sky News again, but it was dismissed pretty vigorously, they say. It would have been dismissed because that money, as you'll see soon, I think is, going to get used in other places, guys. This is what they're up to. Now, this is, there's been some crazy stuff going on, guys, and a lot of it, all right, I believe is a fair bit of AI out there, okay? But Nine News has grabbed onto this, and this is just interesting, just, story, but zombie squirrels turning up in backyards and animal shelters across the US. Now, we know there's a fair bit going on, you know what I mean, with what is going on out there. So I don't know, but for Nine News to pick up that, they don't really go out with that much crazy bullshit like that. So that's just interesting, I thought. If anyone knows anything about that story, drop something in the comments. But, yeah, yeah, haven't seen too much more on it. Now, this is interesting, guys. Here's another money shuffle. Okay. And in the meantime, a lot of people are going to get hurt. Children with autism to be moved off the NDIS in a new overhaul. Well, they're saying that they're going to create another place for these people to move to. But, guys, it's just, again, they remove them. You know, you're the ones that created the autism. And now here you are removing them. And don't think, you know, that we don't know different, guys, as to whether you might be setting up some nice place for them. No, that won't happen. Okay, so, yeah, watch that story, guys, because that's, you know, this is wrong. This is the things we should be able to call them out on. We got the proof. All right, we know where the autism comes from. It's their filthy vaccines. Okay, and without them, we would have a pretty normal society, I think. But, yeah, but here you go. They're going to take them children now that they've created the issue. They're going to take them off the NDIS. The world's just gone like. So a little blast for Albo off BB. I'm not going to get into that, guys. I'm not interested in the Palestine, you know, Israel argument. It's just going to get played out. It doesn't matter what I say about it or anyone else. Okay. But what I will give you a warning about, and from the way this is written, guys, all right, they're not coming after the big corporate places that we expose on this show most nights, through the help of other people, obviously. ATO warning for millions as tax office hunts down 50 billion debt with aggressive tactics. Now, guys, millions. There's not millions of companies in this country that they will be chasing aggressively for tax. But guess who they will chase aggressively for tax? You. Millions of yous. And that's what the wording says. ATO warning for millions as tax office hunts down 50 billion debt with aggressive tactics. So, yeah, there's a warning, guys. We got another warning, you know, later on the show or sometime on the show. And that's just about the current environment. What we see happening out there, as I said to you know, Kaz and I have been, whenever you're right, Kaz, are pretty confident we've been on the ball, calling this stuff as we felt it, you know what I mean? And we seem to be right about that. So, as I said, we're just going to keep you updated with the situation. And continue a news show, guys. That's what we're about.
Exactly. Well, let's do it. Let's do it now then. All right. So basically, this is memoirs of an Australian traveller. Did you want to talk about it beforehand, or why are we putting it out?
Okay, yeah, we're putting it out because, as we say, guys, we can see that the opposition is getting set up. Okay, we can watch their plays. We got the team sheets now. You know, I'm a coach, man. I can have a look at this stuff, and you guys do too. I know that. All right, we preach into the choir for a lot of you. Okay, but there's other people that don't know, guys. And what number one for our people is safety. All right, safety of the children. That's what we all fight for. But safety of us when we go and do what we do, and the young ones that are coming into it. So again, this is a little thing. Kaz has put this together. It's brilliant, mate. She's done it all, put it together. And what it's saying is, this is where we are. This is what we foresee being what the opposition would like to do. And if we get out in front of them, guys, maybe they mightn't do it.
They might do it.
In front of the curve a fair bit. So, yeah.
All right. Very good. So this is basically so that we can head them off at the pass. Anyway, I'll play it.
In the winter of 2025, knowing traditional spring protest season was soon to start, and with growing anti-government sentiment regarding mass immigration being perpetrated upon an unwilling population, and a cost of living, housing and homeless crisis, the Australian government launched a devious plan. The COVID-era protests of 2022 saw the largest protest in Australia's history. And since then, various groups had organised and were fighting the political overreach in the courts and challenging jurisdiction. As the persecution of the people continued, the number of people seeking remedy continued to rise. A desperate government deployed a psychological operation, otherwise known as PSYOPs, in order to regain control of the narrative. In a staged event, the Australian flag was burnt and the narrative spun to appear as though it had been done at a Palestinian protest. Suitably enraged people were posting on social media calling this out. The next deployment was an AI-generated video calling for Australians to stand up with the flag for Australia. Propped up by bots and reposts, the video went viral. Then came the call to action, 31st of August. Was it chosen because of the false flag event of the Second World War where Hitler invaded Poland? The unaware people claimed it, and the protest was on. The next deployment was the ownership transfer to the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, and the 18-year-old supposed poster and date setter disappeared. Clouded under a shroud of secrecy, the organisers and speaker, the event, when scrutinised, revealed close ties to white nationalist organisations. Although the narrative was spun as that it was grassroots, the event had been hijacked by white nationalist idealists. Media assets simultaneously spun the organisation was headed for.
This has got a great potential to go pear-shaped.
While hyping the issues caused by mass immigration. Suspicious freedom fighters, upon discovering the white nationalist agenda, pulled support. Bickering escalated and the freedom movement was split. State television ran a hit piece on what they erroneously dubbed the sovereign citizens, emphasising a turn to violence, giving the example of White Ambler, although they admitted that the trains were in fact not sovereign citizens, and having to go to America and back 15 years in order to establish one act of violence. Indeed, they had to do some digging because the freedom movement is made up of a collective of many people groups who only have one thing in common: peaceful resistance. Dishonestly, they ignored the violence perpetrated upon peaceful protesters by their own government during the COVID lockdown. On the day of the protest, 2 groups of government operatives were dispersed among the people. The first, people with obvious immigrant background, sporting alternative flags. The second group tailored to look more like white nationalists. A brawl broke out, with the mainstream media on standby to capture all. Later, a group of immigrants were attacked and possibly shot. Blame was laid on the white nationalists. Over the next week, the media hype ran with visuals of the brawl and audio of white nationalists speaking of the virtues of white society and the difficulty of immigration. The organisers' prior posts were resuscitated, and every media channel ran their white supremacist narrative.
The Australian public are going to have to accept Hitler in their hearts, in their schools.
So, protect Australian heritage, culture, way of life. Next step, protect European culture, heritage, way of life. The next step is protect white heritage. So it all means the same thing. It's just different ways to put it. Australian heritage, by saying it that way, it is more appealing to the public. It's going to deter them from saying, oh, it's a Nazi rally, blah, blah, blah.
Previous supporters denounced the action. Young people who had supported this on social media were forced to offer retraction.
Every time the media or the left screeches Nazi, we try to scramble to justify
offer retractions due to the narrative of white supremacy. The law-abiding freedom fighters, previously categorised as sovereign citizens, were labelled to white nationalists and were listed as Nazis and terrorists. The government were able to legislate against online terrorism, emailing your representative as viewed as paperwork terrorism and harassment. Anti-Semitism laws were strengthened and gun laws more restrictive. Previously voted down protest laws were retabled and rushed through.
As soon as possible, the changes to protest laws to protect...
Every previously classified freedom fighter was reclassified as a domestic terrorist and bank accounts frozen, charges laid, and jails expanded. But the people, being descended from cunning stock, recognised the playbook, shared this video, and the government were unable to conduct the operation. Having their operation thwarted, they regrouped, but it was already too late for them. Defiance being the Aussie superpower, the people started to refuse en masse and became ungovernable. And then the people won.
All right. Well done, Caz. Yeah, and I think that's a good rundown. You're really loud, Caz. You're really loud, darling.
Am I? I didn't know that. Hang on.
Yeah, so that was it, guys. The people won. Okay, but that's what we're going to get. You know, there's a rundown of what's happened, you know what I mean, and what we can see, you know, that these guys are setting up. So that's clip's going to go out there, share it around, and we keep winning. Exactly.
Yeah.
But we got to know what they're doing, and we got to share it around, guys. Go, Kaz. Yeah. Sorry.
That's a short clip. I'm going to get that out. Everybody, please share it, because once it's out there, they're not going to. It's very little chance that they'll do it because they're already exposed. So it's providing everyone with safety. So that's that's what we do.
And we've been talking about what we can do on this show without harping on about it all the time, guys. We just want to get on with the news and inform you, but we have to inform you in the background and what's been going on. So again, you know what I mean? That's just to put it out there, share it around, and people will know, okay, what we're looking at.
It is. Sorry. Are you against it? Somebody just asked the question. It's just like we're putting it out there so that people can be safe when they know if the government is not going to do it, if we know what they're doing.
Yep.
That's why we do this.
Yep.
All right.
That's why we've done it.
That's why we got Patricia, and she's got a social media account now, and she's putting out information, and it's really terrific.
Oh my Lord, this was put out today about the huge Labor round table that they're spouting to everybody, saying we're going to fix all the problems that we've created. I can't believe anybody would read this and believe a word that comes out of this man's mouth. But anyway, they're saying they're building an economy where Australians can earn more and keep more of what they earn, which is an absolute lie. 60 new taxes this government has put out. So an absolute lie. Come at me if you guys want to actually ask me to prove that, because I have receipts. But they can say it with a straight face, can't they? What skills? What economy? A generation of secure jobs? Well, that's not true at all. We know how many jobs have gone. We know how many small businesses have closed. We know how many building companies have gone under since these guys have been in. What opportunities are they trying to create? I can tell you exactly what this is. This is propaganda, and this is Labor looking like they're going to do something, but they're not going to do a damn thing.
Somebody put this one together, David. I love it. It's Ghazi or Focus Elbow. Look what you've done. It's done to Australia. There's all this tense there, and it's just true because it's just terrible. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Anyway, Stephen Chivera has taken on the new person who is in. I can't remember her name. Is it Charlotte, the new South Australian senator? Anyway, have a look at this.
Yep.
This is Charlotte Walker. She is a senator in Australia. She's 21 years old. She's our youngest senator. I don't know if she's ever had a real job. Maybe she's just out of university. I'm not too sure. But here she is at a school, a Muslim school, teaching young Muslims that Australia is racist. She's teaching from a book about how racist Australia is, and the book's actually written by a communist. What other country teaches their future citizens that Australia, or that their country, is illegitimate and racist? I remember back in 1988 when we loved this country. Nationalism was high, Australia was kicking goals, everyone just loved being an Aussie. And now in our schools, children, and universities especially, Australians are being taught that this is an illegitimate, racist, genocidal country. And so here we have young Muslims essentially being taught to hate this country. And we wonder why this country is going down the drain.
All by design. Hey?
That's
Unbelievable.
it. No, of course it is. You know, that's why the arts is really important. The arts, the narrative, anything you can contribute to the freedom movement by way of the arts, by way of poetry. Oh, somebody sent me a really awesome poem too. I forgot I was going to do a film to it. Anything you can do to help this fight, this culture war fight, really, really important. And as you can see, Australians, young Australians, we're just getting so many of them now speaking up. And one of this guy is Luke Terra.
Our government is a fucking joke here in Australia. An absolute joke. They keep letting in more immigrants every fucking year, overpopulating the country. Prices of houses go through the roof. Prices of rent go through the roof. Amongst everything else that goes through the roof. They provide more for immigrants than they do for their own fucking citizens here in Australia. And it's disgusting. Our government needs to be fucking rerun. Fire all the cunts and start again.
Whoops,
absolute
sorry.
fucking joke. Watch this video and you tell me what you think.
I think it's up to 3 wives.
Now, we played that video a few weeks ago, so we won't go over it again. But the fact that he's discovering it when it's about 15 years old, I think, that video clip, then, that's pretty awesome.
Yep. They're out there. They're about the young ones, and they're waking up. It's great, guys. You've done a magnificent job, all you people. We just stick to it.
That's it. All right, Dave, the fire ants. Did you want to talk about this one before we bring it on, or after?
Yeah, guys, because what I did, and I'm going to tell you what happened, okay? We had a property, my mate's property, and the lantana had got a bit overgrown down the back. And anyway, we got a wanker of a neighbour, okay? And anyway, the neighbour put in a complaint. So we had to deal with the council, and I dealt with the council because my mate was feeling a bit off at the time. He'd gone through some, medical stuff. So I was dealing with the council, and what we used up there and it worked absolutely brilliant, guys, was vinegar, salt, right, and water. Okay, a mixture to actually like knock out the lantana and the bullshit that was growing in the backyard, all the weeds. Within 2 hours, man, it was breaking stuff down. I rang the council, and I asked for a mate of mine. I won't give you his name. But he didn't get back to me. But the bloke got back to me about a week later or something, and he's gone, after I'd had a conversation with him. And my conversation was, why, if we can use natural products, is the council using Roundup? We got dogs down the harbour here. We're seeing people get rashes on the dogs because you guys are spraying poison down here. The dogs are pissing. And, it's just an ongoing cycle. Why can't you use something natural? Told him all about it. He come back to him and he said, hey, listen, your mate says it's a brilliant idea, Davo. I think it's a brilliant idea, but guess what? The department said that they'll be sticking with what they use as it's known to do the right job. Okay, so this is where they are, guys, all right? They don't care about poisoning your pets in your fucking ground and everything else, right? We give them a natural solution that the council saw work because they come and looked at the property that we done. Okay, and you still can't move them. And then I saw this. And I thought, mate, people need to know, and we need to get this out there because, again, the fire ants, here's a natural way. All right, play it, Caz. Hot water injection, guys. How simple. Hey, yet we got chemicals that's killing every bit of our wildlife, our fauna, our flora, okay, to take out our food. That's what they're doing, guys. They want to starve you to death. Okay, that's the order. Okay, and here we are with these natural things. So again, that clip will be on the website, guys, so you can find out, share them around. All right, this is how we do it. This is how we break them down. All right, we put out the shit they're doing and we give solutions. These ones are simple to give solutions to. So there it is, hot water injection. And we haven't got that many fire ants anyway. They're creating the problem of bringing the fucking fire ants on the properties, as we've exposed.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Now, I just want to cover a bit of this story again because somebody's put this. So the ABC aired this yesterday, and the person that goes by the handle RM said self-appointed law enforcement group finds PM Scott Morrison guilty of human trafficking. Also, all the COVID premiers guilty of crimes including violation of the Nuremberg Code and genocide. This is a small drip into the public subconscious mind and predictive programming. Mainstream trials coming 2026. I thought that's a very interesting approach.
Yep. Yeah, look, there's a lot of people in the background doing a lot of good work, guys. Okay. Trouble is, like I said, the foxes are in the hen house until we can scoot them out of there. All right. And what do the foxes do? How do they run away? How will you make the foxes run away? By bringing in numbers of dingoes. All right. We're the dingoes, guys. All right. Or wombats, whatever you want to call us. But if we got the numbers, guess what? The foxes run.
It's had a bit of a backlash effect, though, because Normie that I know said to me, "Oh, is that what you guys are?" And then goes, "How do I become one?" And I thought that was really funny. Anyway, look, here's this terrible story about these child murderers, and it's children killing children. It's quite harrowing.
13-year-old boy stab and kill another child and be allowed to return to school the next day. No punishment, consequences, nothing. The kids call it Dolly, the law that allows them to get away with murder. It's the legal belief that those under the age of 14 are incapable of evil. Ask grieving parents Christy and Alan if they agree with that, after their son's killer walked free.
Here he comes. Oh, he's 180 it. Well done.
Brodie Morris had the world at his feet.
Wakeboarding, snow skiing, motorbike riding, football, just anything he did, he was just good at.
Swinging through life, fearless and full of love.
Love you so much.
Here he is, hanging out with friends at his local park on the New South Wales Central Coast, hours before his life was cut short at just 13 years old. It was January 2022. Brodie had recently had a falling out with another 13-year-old boy who had been suspended from school for fighting. The boy, who we can't name for legal reasons, had been sending Brodie threatening messages. That night, the two were texting about meeting up for a fist fight. Brodie's phone battery was dying, so he woke up his dad, Alan.
And said, "Can I grab your charger lead out of the car?" And I said to him, "Mate, if you're grabbing that, I need you to put it back." And he gave me a kiss, and that was the last moment I have with Brodie.
Around 10:30 p.m, Brodie snuck out of the house to meet up with the boy on a nearby street.
Did you know that he was going out at all? Did you know that anything had been going on with him and his friend at the time?
No.
Brodie was walking into a death trap. The other boy had grabbed a kitchen knife before leaving his home, shoving it in the waistband of his pants. He had also sent a chilling Snapchat message to Brodie's older brother, Jack.
Everyone wants to bash me. I just want everyone to f*** off. If I stab him, everyone will know I'll do it to them next.
Jack, who was 14 at the time, tried to stop the fight.
At the time, I didn't really know what to think. It didn't feel real. It still doesn't feel real.
When Brodie and the boy came face to face, schoolmates had also gathered to watch the fight. Within seconds of fists being thrown, the other boy pulled out the knife, stabbing Brodie 3 times in the chest.
We might leave it there. It's harrowing. He was back. He was allowed back at school the next day. It's just.
No
This is where we're at.
Yeah. Unbelievable. This is where society is. Let's get it back, guys. You got to get it back. It's up to you people out there. Yeah, it hurts all right, Vito. It's unbelievable, mate. Yeah. We've all snuck out of bedroom windows, guys. I've done it. Everybody's done it. Okay. For one reason or another, you've done it. Okay, most of yous. We just had an environment where we could do it. We weren't meeting to stab someone. We were meeting to,
And kids have always had fights. What's going on with them now?
Yeah.
All right, let's bring on the flyers.
Yeah.
And the Mondays at Maggie's crew is calling for tools down. It's time to stand together. A corrupt and tyrannical government is crushing industries, stripping freedoms and silencing voices. So join us every Monday at the Governor's House in Sydney at 11 a.m. And on Mondays, don't forget Mondays at Maggie's, the Frank and Charles podcast. They will be hitting the streets this week. Mondays at Maggie's. And the Wollongong FUCCP parade will start on Sunday, September 7th at 8 a.m, leaving Helensburgh, parading through Thirroul, Bulli, Port Kembla, Shell Harbour, Dapto and finish at Stewart Park, Wollongong. There will be a barbecue from 1 p.m. with guest speakers. And there is a public protest rally, Stop E-Karen, no to digital ID, no biometric facial scanning, 1 p.m. on Saturday the 13th of September, Piermont Bay Park. And on Saturday, August 23rd at 12 p.m. at the Hyde Park Fountain, there will be a march against chemtrails. And on Saturday, the 22nd of November, there is an Abolish Abortion Australia conference. This will be featuring T. Russell Hunter. And unleash your voice with Matilda TV. Matilda TV is a free speech haven, a platform committed to unfiltered expression with easy video uploading and seamless upload and share your videos. Matilda TV also has pinned comments and voting. So head over to Matilda TV. And in Victoria, we have the following events. In Melbourne, gather at the Governor's every Saturday to end the tyranny. 10 a.m. every Saturday at the Governor Gates. And join the Justice of the People in Melbourne every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. for a remembrance at the Shrine of Remembrance. Yes. And the Freedom Unites Coast and Country Parades will now be held on September the 6th and 7th, which is a Saturday and Sunday. Jodie's inviting everyone to register their interest now. And a stand in the park, Albury Wodonga, are celebrating 5 years. So on Sunday, the 7th of September, they're hosting a barbecue. And there will be a nationwide capital city protest, Australia It's Time to Rise, on the 31st of August 2025 at 12 p.m. The event locations will be released on the 15th of August. This is about protecting our culture, our heritage and our way of life and wanting to put an end to mass immigration. Put Australia first. No foreign flags allowed. A daily prayer space is held on X at 3 p.m. So whatever you're facing, come along and we can lift you up in prayer. Every day, 3 p.m. on X. Melissa 146233923.
Okay. We got are we missing the one on the chemtrails in there, or was that in there? Did I miss that?
Yeah, it was in there.
Okay.
That's on Saturday.
That's all right. Yeah, Saturdays. Yeah. Everyone get up there. Another thing that's really killing you. We got a lady up there willing to do it every week for you. Turn up. Be the change you want to see, guys.
Yeah, we know. I'm just. All right. So Nicola Charles, she's had her Facebook account wiped as well.
Days, 6 months more.
And if I didn't do certain things, identify myself, give away personal details, the whole account will be deleted, which is what's going to happen. And somebody wrote loads of comments, but a person wrote 2 words, so unfair. And it made me realise that's the future they're creating for us. So unfair. Because who are these platforms in this digital space? Who will be running digital ID? Who's really in charge of everything that we hold dear? Financial freedom, work freedom, social freedom on social media. Their behaviour's a little bit antisocial, and they talk about community standards, but...
We'll leave it there because simultaneously, Two Worlds Collide has lost his modelling contract.
Translation? Well, there's a bunch of woke people in modelling, TV and the movie industries, and they don't like what I say. Well, to be honest, I'm pretty happy with that, and I'll wear this like a badge of honour. And looking back on the past couple of weeks, maybe it was a reel where I called out Jacinta Allen for saying trans kids are 15 times more likely to commit suicide, when the truth is, if we let kids be kids and stop the woke nonsense, they'd be 15 times less likely to commit suicide. Or maybe it was when the Daily Fail twisted my words from a reel I did and ran this story. Or maybe it's just because I have guests on who talk straight common sense, which is apparently too dangerous now. Or maybe, just maybe, it's because the film and TV industry is riddled with a woke mind virus and they don't simply like what I say. Well, that's a good thing, I guess. Probably means I'm over the target, right? And trust...
I think it probably means he is over the target.
So yeah, he lost some modelling contracts, guys. They nailed him. Yeah.
Yeah, lost his whole agency. So, now we know that there's a Palestinian protesters on again as well. But one of the things that's really interesting is Charlie Kirk pointed this out, and he said, "Did you know 125,000 Christians have been murdered and 19,000 churches destroyed in Nigeria by Muslims in Nigeria in the last 15 years?" And that doesn't get any attention. No, it doesn't. Actually, Christians are being persecuted and killed all over the place.
That is the plan of the devil. That's exactly what his plan is.
It's really interesting because this is Julie Sesko, and what he was talking about, she actually just talks about how the activists are the wagging the dog. We've all seen the how the activist tail wags the dog in the newsroom.
You can't fool people. You can't pretend that there is nothing to see here in the trans debates. You can't pretend that there is no issue to debate if schools referring to your child by a different pronoun and letting your child use a different bathroom and you don't even know about it. That is a situation that is going to fester out there in the real world if the ABC and so on continues to downplay the debate or pretend there is none, effectively. It will just breed the kind of sort of distrust that we've seen building, I would say, since the era of Trump 1, accelerated during the pandemic, and we're just going to see a lot more social division.
Yeah, because we don't want our kids indoctrinated.
Exactly.
They're not to do it.
Yeah.
We actually respect them. Okay.
Yes. That's what the world's missing a few things. Respect's one of them, that's for sure.
Now, just on the crazy news, had UFOs over Florida. Multiple angles on them.
Missiles over Queensland.
Missiles over Queensland. We've also had former MP, this is actually my previous local member, Darryl Maguire, and he's been sentenced over misleading evidence at an ICAC inquiry. Now, he got 10 months jail, but he's out on appeal for the moment. But it's really interesting that anything's being done because I was being proven wrong. I said nothing will happen to him. I said that years ago when it happened. And it looks like it is happening to him, which is awesome. And then this one is one of my favourite ones. 70,000 monks want T-Man to be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Of silence to nominate Trump for the Nobel.
Dear Mr. President Trump, we are standing here today
with hearts full of appreciation. Today, 70,000 Cambodian Buddhist monks are wholeheartedly supportive of our Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet to nominate you for the Nobel Peace Prize. Please accept, Mr. President.
70,000 monks can't be wrong. After Trump brokered a peace deal between Cambodia and Thailand, the monks went ultra MAGA and shaved their heads like Stephen Miller. So 47 thinking about sending them all 70,000 of them Trump 2028 hats, duty and tariff-free. Zelensky and Macron went home yesterday with hats that said 4 more years. Just like when you visit a museum, Trump brought them to the gift shop right before they hit the door. Putin wanted a hat too, but instead Melania gave him a letter that said, stop killing kids. And Trump buzzed them with B2s.
No, actually what happened was Melania gave him a letter that's asked him to stop the child trafficking. And then what's interesting is Carolyn Levitt really took on the press.
If the point is to get everybody on the same page, why wouldn't Trump just take the call from Putin while the other leaders were in the room? He said it would be disrespectful to do that. But why is it disrespectful?
With all due respect, only a reporter from the New York Times would ask a question like that, Sean. The president met with all of these European leaders at the White House 48 hours after sitting down with President Putin on American soil. In fact, there was so much progress in the readout that was given to these European leaders immediately following his meeting with President Putin that every single one of them got on a plane 48 hours later and flew to the United States of America. And if I could just read for all of you some of the statements from those European leaders yesterday, you had President Zelensky himself saying it was a very good conversation. It was really good. We spoke about very sensitive points. The Secretary General, Mark Rutte, it was the president, only because of the president, that this deadlock was broken, but with President Putin by starting a dialogue. So these leaders, who this war is in their backyard, are very grateful that the president took that call and that he was there to provide them with a readout of Russia's thinking on this, something that was not done by the previous administration at all. Catherine.
Thank you.
And the movie rolls on.
It's yeah, I know. It's like it is insane. So
yeah,
I have to agree with you on that one.
We have to show them. Yeah,
exactly.
It's looking like that more and more, Caz, you know, from what we're hearing.
It's absolutely like that. It's absolutely like that. You must show people, and what they're doing is they're showing you what the plans are, how bad that was going to get. So still with that.
Exactly what we've just done, putting out that little clip at Caz's tonight, showing you exactly what they're going to do, guys, what they would like to do. All right, that's it.
All right, The Rocking Housewife has produced, I don't know who for, but it's a really cool song called The Boxing Kangaroo. So that's taking us out tonight. So if you'd like to wrap up and close the show, Dave, then I shall hit play.
That's a good flag. I might get one of them for the boat, actually, the Boxing Kangaroo. I like that. It's, yeah. Anyway, look, guys, again, we're just showing you what's going on. There's a couple other clips there. Just trying to work out a few things overseas, you know, where we're getting told a lot of stuff is happening, a lot of stuff's not happening. You got people coming back from Europe saying they haven't seen any, you know, chaos and all these different things coming in. So we're just trying to touch base over there. That's why I'm back hunting around on a few Twitter spaces, guys. Just trying to get the groundwork of what's going on over there, around the whole place, actually. And yeah, we'll try and keep you updated on it. But yeah, we're in an information war, guys, and we were told, you know, that, you know, anything up to, you know, 65, 75 more of what we see won't be real. Okay, so just take that into account when you're watching all this stuff, all right? Because, yeah, there's some real shenanigans going on out there in the Matrix. Okay, good night, folks. Thanks, Cazza. Thanks, Mel. Evening.
Trees where the shadows grow tall, the voices of Aussies echo through it all. We once held a dream like the morning dew, but it's fading away with the people's view. Oh, boxing kangaroo, stand up for us now. Punch through the lies, show them somehow. With fists of the people and hearts so true, we're fighting together. forget us within, from the outback's wide heart to the city's